Hello. So we are here on December 4th. I'm back to redeem myself. Logan strongly told everyone how much I hate Christmas. So it was really great journeying and following Jordan and some of the teachings we had over how to transform Christmas and make it more meaningful. And I was here on the beautiful dinner that we had that Christmas with all the tables, and oh my gosh, I was just overwhelmed, and it was just beautiful. And Jordan was talking about inviting people to the table and asking people how they're doing and just really connecting with people who might be hurting. And it kept coming to mind where we were at in our family, and I was a bit teary. I don't know if anyone noticed, but November 30th, my husband and I got a phone call from his brother that he wanted to go to the hospital. And we're like, it was 10:30 at night, and he was kind of vague. And it took a little bit to get it out of him, but he had overdosed on pills, medication. So we're like, okay, yep, we're going now. And the background on this is he's struggled with schizoaffective disorder for the past, I think, about 40 years. So that's schizophrenia combined with bipolar. And he has very strong delusions, and unfortunately it's the type of illness that the illness itself stops you from participating and cooperating with treatment. So he'd been off his meds since July, and we knew something was coming, but we just had to wait till he got to the point of being in danger of harming himself or others. So off we went. And so at that point, with December 18th, I think was the Sunday, we'd been spending 3 weeks every day at the hospital. And I don't know if anyone has been in the mental health unit. It's a different place. First of all, it's very intimidating. You have to call in, and now they have new procedures that there's 2 doors, locked doors you have to get through. Your materials and what you're bringing in is checked to make sure there's nothing that anyone can harm themselves with. Cords, plastic bags, glass bottles. There's sometimes people are supervised by security guards following them around to make sure they don't do anything. And there's this weird, people don't look at each other, people don't talk at each other. It's like we're all just in our little bubble visiting our person, and it's kind of, there's just a heaviness about it. There's not a lot of community or interaction. Many people are in their rooms, and many of the people who are out of their rooms walking around are in very altered states of reality. And what struck me is there's so many young people this time. We've been through this before, and this time I just was seeing so many young people. And I thought, how can I invite these people to the table? How can I reach them? How can I share some love? How do you share hope? Like our brother-in-law, he spent December 1st to January 6th. So he missed Christmas. He was not happy about this. He was held there against the will. It was a court order. So we're celebrating Christmas this afternoon again. So how do I reach these people? And what about the people in their rooms? Am I allowed to talk to people? So I thought, okay, my niece years ago visited the ER, and because it was Christmas, visited ER on Christmas Eve, and because of that, they had stuffed animals. Okay, we've got 2 minutes left, but they had stuffed animals to, give them a little pet for Christmas. And I thought, what can we do? So I came up with the idea of let's buy them something. But what do you buy? Could be up to 42 people in the 2 units. What do you buy them when they're all ages, different, sexes, background? And I don't know if it's men or women. We can't get a count. It can change at any point. But anyways, I ended up getting socks and chocolate. That's what we went with. And the irony is my brother-in-law doesn't actually wear socks, so we'll probably take his. And it was just, I had to step out of my comfort zone. I sat on this idea for a couple days after the Sunday, and I realized, okay, who do I need to call? I called the social worker. She's like, great idea, call the charge nurse. I called the charge nurse. She's like, or it was a man actually. He's like, I don't know. Call the program coordinator. It was just seemed like such an odd thing, right? But it's obviously, probably to us, seems reasonable. And so I got the go-ahead, and then it was like, what do I write? I wanted to have a little card for them. What do you write? And my job, I spend every single day sharing compassion, encouragement, and joy to people who are suffering. So I'm quite comfortable in that. But this I was very uncomfortable in because these were faceless people. They weren't people I could look in the eye and understand their story. one person might be manic and be on top of the world and think they can do anything, and another person might be totally in despair, and some people aren't even in reality. Some people might not even know it's Christmas. Some people might be so upset it's Christmas. Who knows, right? So I text my friend and came up with a few things, and I wrote, keep moving forward. Or no, I said, you've got this far, keep moving forward. There's hope, there's better times. I said, you're blessed. I kind of changed it. I also wrote, you're not alone, because they're not, right? We're not alone, and I wanted them to know that God is with them in their suffering. And then I realized that was a bad idea, because some people might have delusions of paranoia, so I stopped doing that. So we're going to trust that God made sure those got to the right people. Anyways, I don't have any great stories for you. I can't tell you how this impacted people. I mean, when I went to drop the bags off at the 2 units, the one nurse was like not really sure what was going on, and she's like, what department is this from? And I'm like, me? And there was an elderly man at the door, and he was obviously exit seeking, and he had a security guard with him. And in my work with seniors, I know that if someone's exit seeking, you get out of the way so they can't see you. So I kind of like didn't want to encourage him to come out the door. And then I just popped my head back to see if he was still there. And he went like this. Aww. That's all I got. Don, when we went to see him after Christmas, we said, oh, what's this? Because he didn't recognize the handwriting. And he said, oh, the hospital gave us a present Christmas morning. And we said, well, that's really nice of the hospital. But I saw he'd eaten the chocolates, and that would have brought him a little burst of happiness. So, and one last thing. There's a connection with Bethany residents that keeps coming up with our church. And when I saw we were doing the pajama drive, I actually recognized somebody in the video from the last time that Dawn was in the mental health unit. And when I called Dawn's social worker, we were looking at what do we do now, and Bethany residents was recommended to us. And now we have some initiative to go as a church to visit Bethany residents. So I'm definitely looking forward to be part of that. And I hope you'd consider it as well. I think that announcement will come further. Thank you.